Hey, thank you for joining me today. I want to talk to you for just a second about something that's very close to my heart, and that's worship. Before I was ever writing books or speaking, I was singing. I grew up in a family that sang. I come from a long line of singers, but I also come from a long line of worshipers, and there is a difference. And whenever I speak to conferences or groups of people or do some mentoring when it comes to worship, the first and most important thing that I say to people is it's way past the songs. It's way more than a good set list or a good band or the most popular song that's going around right now. If you're just singing those things or just doing the technical part, then you're just performing. And we never want to perform whenever it comes to worship. I love Christian entertainment. I love entertainment generally. I love music generally. But worship is a whole other thing. When you are worshiping, you're saying to the Lord, I want to sit down. I want to spend some time with you. I want to speak to you, and I want you to speak to my heart. But so many times in the culture of worship that we have right now and the really amazing songs that are out there, sometimes if we're not careful, we use those songs more as a crutch for trying to fix something that is inside of us. Instead of going to the answer, we use that time of worship as some sort of a crutch for this broken thing in us. Now, there's healing there. Don't get me wrong. There's healing in worship. But I kind of had this thought one day. We often use worship as a coping mechanism instead of a relational tool. We cannot grow in intimacy with someone when we only use their presence as a crutch. If when I was dating my husband, I had just needed him to make me feel better about myself, that would have been a very one-sided, broken relationship. The same is true when it comes to the Father. He loves for us to sing to him and to declare how much we love him and his goodness to him. And he likes to bring healing and his glory into the room with us. But if we aren't careful, we will end up going into worship service like getting some kind of fix, if you will, to help us make it through a day or two, instead of going in and saying, I'm going to build a relationship with the healer, or I'm going to build a relationship with the joy that I need. I'm going to build a relationship with a savior that I need, instead of just taking a little bit of what you need and running. The presence of God, we can never use it as a crutch. I don't want to do that with my children. I don't want to do that with my husband. As pastors, we don't want to do that with the people in our church, because it becomes this form of manipulation and using somebody for something that we can get, instead of saying, hey, let me sit down and build a relationship with you, spend some time with you in an intimate conversation and having fun together and getting to know one another. So here is what the word says. You will show me the path of life. In your presence is fullness of joy, and at your right hand there are pleasures forevermore. Many of us know the verse that way. That's the Amplified Version. But in the Passion Translation, it says this: for you bring me a continual revelation of resurrection life, the path to the bliss that brings me face to face with you. Psalm 16:11. That verse said that way says exactly what we need to really understand about the presence of God. That it's not a crutch. It's this path of life. It's this revelation over and over and over of getting to know somebody more and more and more, bringing us into this face-to-face relationship with them. Even uses the word bliss down this path to understanding this relationship. When you walk into worship service next time, or you lead worship next time, remember, this isn't a crutch just to get you to the next place. This is a time, whether you're in a room full of thousands or hundreds, or it's just the two of you, you and the Lord, whatever room it is, remember that when you are coming in to worship with him, it's a moment for you to sit down and come into deeper knowledge of this beautiful, wonderful, awesome Father that we have. I'll see you next time.